He thought my login gave him access to gold. What it actually gave him was garbage. I watched him spend weeks building a multi-million-dollar pitch on fake data, and then I watched the collapse from the best seat in the room. My name is Megan Cole, and for 6 years, I was the invisible architect behind every successful data project at Adara North. 35 years old, single, dependable to a fault, and according to my annual reviews, exceptionally strong technically, but lacking executive presence. That's corporate shorthand for she does the work, but we don't see her in the corner office. I built my career cleaning up disasters no one wanted their name attached to. When the Peterson account imploded because someone joined tables using the wrong primary keys, I got the call at 11:42 p.m. on a Friday. I fixed it by 3 a.m. When our largest retail client discovered their forecasting model was built on corrupted inputs, I rebuilt 16 months of analysis in 4 days. No one asked how. They just nodded, took the slides, and moved on. Being invisible has one advantage. You see everything. I watch 20-something MBAs present my frameworks to executives. I sat silently while my exact phrasing appeared on slides under someone else's name. 3 times I applied for team lead. 3 times I was told the same thing. Megan needs to develop stronger leadership presence. Translation: Megan doesn't golf with the right people. Adara North occupied 4 glassy floors in downtown Seattle. Exposed brick, standing desks, kombucha on tap. A tech consultancy that loved to talk about disruption but panicked when Excel froze. My office was windowless, wedged between the server room and a supply closet. No one wandered in by accident. That suited me fine. Everything changed when we landed Horizon Outfitters. $30 million to rebuild their data infrastructure and design predictive models for a 500-store retail chain. The kind of project that makes reputations. The kind that shows up in case studies. For once, during the kickoff meeting, our CEO said my name out loud. Megan will be instrumental to this project, he said, making eye contact. Her expertise is exactly what Horizon needs. For about 10 seconds, I believed him. I started sketching architectures, team structures, even imagined myself presenting to Horizon's board. I should have known better. That same week, HR announced a strategic hire. A rising star poached from a competitor. Someone who would elevate our client-facing capabilities. The email included a polished headshot of a man with perfect teeth and a confident smile that said he'd never debugged code under pressure. His name was Ryan Caldwell, and he was about to become my problem. Ryan arrived on a Monday like a controlled explosion in a tailored suit. 31, Ivy League MBA, resumed full of transformations and turnarounds. He'd allegedly led digital initiatives at major firms and given a talk on modern leadership. The office buzzed before he even logged in. At the all-hands meeting, our CEO announced, Ryan will lead the Horizon Outfitters engagement. Ryan stood there soaking it in. Then, almost as an aside, Megan will support the analysis and technical execution. Support. That word again. It meant I'd do the work. He'd take the credit. Ryan found me that afternoon. He didn't knock. You must be Megan, he said, leaning into my doorway like it belonged to him. I've heard you're the data wizard around here. The compliment felt prepackaged. I've got some bold ideas for Horizon. This is going to be huge. I smiled, nodded, and internally calculated how many late nights I'd spend fixing his bold ideas. It started small. Requests phrased as commands. Send me the historical sales for the Northwest. I need segmentation by end of day. No please. No context. By week 2, he was forwarding client emails to me with "handle this" at the top. The breaking point came on a Thursday afternoon. I was deep into a predictive model when Ryan appeared. I need access to the Horizon working folders, he said. Not asked. Said. I'm building a deck for tomorrow and need everything. Those folders contained my working files. Drafts. Unvalidated models. They're not client-ready, I said carefully. He waved it off. I know what I'm doing. Email me your login. Then he was gone, leaving behind entitlement and expensive cologne. I sat there staring at my screen. 6 years of being erased, of watching my work become someone else's success story. Something inside me shifted. Not anger. Calculation. I created a new folder. Horizon Final Reports, MC of Subtle. Inside, I began crafting something precise. Not outright lies. That would be sloppy. Instead, I built elegant, professional-looking analyses that were just wrong enough to collapse under scrutiny. Dashboards with inverted formulas. Forecasts based on mismatched currencies. Segmentation models using outdated logic. They looked impressive. They were poison. I emailed Ryan the credentials at exactly 5:01 p.m. and archived the message. Building those dummy files felt like composing a quiet symphony. Each one had to pass a surface glance. The first file, Customer Retention Overview, showed churn inverted just enough to imply disaster. The second, Revenue Projections Q3, Q4, pulled numbers from overseas stores without conversion. Millions off, hidden behind beautiful charts. The third used segmentation rules from years before Horizon's demographic shift. The rest followed suit. Inventory optimization with seasonal coefficients flipped. Pricing elasticity stripped of context. Competitive analysis quietly scrambled. Every file carried my metadata, my timestamps. Parallel to them, I built the real analysis in a secure folder only I could access. Fully documented. Transparent. Accurate. I also logged everything. A simple background script. Nothing flashy. Every access. Every download. Every rename. Ryan took the bait immediately. By the next morning, he was presenting my corrupted dashboards as his discoveries. I stayed up late analyzing this, he said, gesturing to my work. Someone questioned a number. He dismissed it as challenging conventional assumptions. I watched, documented, and waited. Over the next weeks, Ryan demanded more. Always urgent. Always last minute. I delivered. Each file another quiet trap. He shared them with Horizon leadership, attaching his name as lead strategist. Sometimes I appeared in a footnote. Sometimes not at all. His confidence grew. He cut me out of meetings. He spoke on webinars about his innovative approach. He built his reputation on a foundation of sand. 3 days before the big presentation, I overheard him assuring Horizon's CFO that the numbers were bulletproof. That night, I reviewed the real analysis again. Clean. Realistic. Responsible. Then I looked at what he would present. A financial disaster. I forwarded my documentation to my attorney. Just in case. On Sunday evening, our CEO emailed me. Bring backup materials tomorrow, he wrote. Ryan says you have supporting documentation. I smiled. Of course I did. And I would bring everything. The truth. The logs. The receipts. The presentation room was waiting. And so was the fallout. The Horizon conference room overlooked Lake Michigan, all glass and steel and quiet authority. A table for 20. Screens built into the walls. Technology so expensive it made you sit up straighter without realizing why. 14 Horizon executives filed in, including their CFO, Margaret Walsh, and their CEO, Daniel Morrison, a man who'd grown the company from a single storefront into a national brand. Ryan Caldwell arrived early, confident, perfectly rehearsed, shaking hands like a politician. I took my seat in the front row, laptop ready, face calm, pulse steady. I wasn't nervous. I was prepared. Ryan opened with polish. Vision. Synergy. Strategic alignment. Slides everyone had seen 100 times. He built trust before he touched the numbers. Then came the data. The first real projection appeared on the screen, a sharp upward curve promising dramatic Q4 growth. I watched Margaret's expression change, just slightly. "Can you explain this spike?" she asked. Her voice was neutral. "Dangerous." Ryan smiled. "Our model identified underutilized winter demand." Daniel leaned forward. "In Chicago?" Ryan nodded. "Correct." A pause. "We've never outperformed Q3 in winter," Daniel said. "Not once." Ryan pivoted to customer segmentation. Retirees as the growth engine. Margaret glanced at her tablet. 78% of our revenue comes from customers under 35, she said. Ryan talked faster. Paradigm shifts. Hidden demand. Challenging assumptions. The room tightened. Inventory optimization followed. Swimwear in December. Coats in July. A low murmur moved around the table. Someone whispered. Margaret's voice cut through it. "Are you seriously suggesting we reverse our seasonal inventory?" Ryan hesitated, then doubled down. "The data supports it." Daniel's tone was flat. "These numbers aren't bold. They're impossible." The questions came faster. Churn rates that contradicted internal reports. Foot traffic patterns that defy geography. Competitive analysis that compared Horizon to itself. Ryan was drowning in buzzwords. Sweat gathered at his temples. Then Margaret asked the question that ended it. "Mr. Caldwell, do you understand our business at all?" Silence. 14 pairs of eyes. Ryan's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Daniel turned to me. "Ms. Cole, do you have anything to add?" Every head turned. Ryan went pale. I stood, smoothing my jacket. "Yes," I said. I walked to the front, held up the HDMI cable. "May I?" Daniel nodded. The screen flickered. Ryan's fantasy vanished. Reality replaced it. My analysis appeared. Clean. Grounded. Honest. A modest Q3 increase. A realistic Q4 decline. Seasonal effects clearly documented. "These projections account for your historical patterns," I said. "Any model showing winter growth in Chicago is using corrupted inputs or flawed assumptions." Margaret leaned forward. "These align with our internal forecasts." I moved through the deck. Accurate segmentation. Correct inventory strategy. True retention rates. Each slide repaired the damage. The room breathed again. Questions came, but now they were thoughtful. Collaborative. 40 minutes later, Daniel raised his hand. "If you had this analysis, why were we shown the other one?" I opened a folder. Access logs. Timestamps. Version histories. Email trails. "Those files were preliminary drafts," I said. "They were accessed and presented without authorization." Margaret scrolled. "These are the files we received." Marcus, our CEO, finally spoke. "Megan, why didn't you escalate this internally?" I met his eyes. "I documented everything. But integrity concerns haven't historically carried weight unless the client sees the impact." Daniel stood. "Let's take a short recess." "Ms. Cole, please stay." The room emptied. Ryan tried to speak. Daniel cut him off. Use the time wisely. Once alone, the tone changed. Margaret studied me. I've worked with consultants for 25 years. I've never seen someone risk their career to protect data integrity. She looked at Daniel. I want her leading this. Daniel nodded. Can you deliver what you showed us? Yes, I said. With authority, a real team, and direct access. Done, he said, extending his hand. When the others returned, Daniel was clear. We're moving forward. One condition. Megan Cole leads the engagement. Ryan's face collapsed. He was escorted out later that day. Back in Seattle, the news traveled fast. At the all-hands meeting, Marcus announced my promotion and Ryan's departure. No explanations. Just facts. The invisibility I'd worn for 6 years evaporated. Colleagues congratulated me. Analysts thanked me quietly. Stories surfaced. Credit stolen. Work erased. I wasn't alone. I just documented it better. Horizon launched 4 months later, on time and under budget. The growth hit 9%. Inventory savings surpassed projections. A handwritten note from Daniel hangs in my new corner office, the one with windows. Ryan emailed me once. Then twice. I didn't reply. Some bridges are meant to stay burned. I opened a new folder. Q3 Strategic Initiative, MC. No dummy files this time. Just clean data, telling the truth. The invisible woman was gone. In her place stood someone who learned the real rules. Document everything. Trust carefully. And when someone tries to steal your work, make sure what they take is exactly what they deserve. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your city or country in the comments. If this story resonated, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts. Have you ever dealt with someone who tried to take credit for your work? I'd love to hear how you handled it.